Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines we have for you today. A senator coming for Binance and USDTether now. And we got attorney John Deaton who tells us just exactly what Coinbase's motion could have a massive impact on the SEC versus Ripple settlement. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter and YouTube for exclusive content. Right now, $1.3 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is off by 1.4%. Good morning, everyone. 34,000 slightly over for Bitcoin, 1,700 and change for Ethereum today, and 84.4 billion plus for Tether. And boy, they're back into target zone. 54 cents for XRP, off by 1.5% in the 24-hour, up by 6.5% on the 7-day. Let's get started with this, ladies and gentlemen. It is linked to, and we love them. Linked to, ladies and gentlemen. Ripple's still on the board. 390,000 registered users, getting ready to cross 300 million in total investments. If you're wondering how it's going great over there, right? And by the way, it can go great for you too if you just sign up and get started and go get your Ripple private equity or Uphold or everything else is available, or Link to itself, who have said they're going to IPO. Wow, I tell you, what a time this is. Make sure you click the link to my sponsor. Let's start right here. Axios says X, formerly Twitter, has hemorrhaged users and advertisers in its first year under Elon Musk ownership, according to new data provided by Axios. And we don't need to look at it. However, I said, well, maybe that's because it's not the free speech platform they claim it to be. Hashtag free digital asset investor, Elon Musk. Something happened when you turned over the reins. Don't believe it. It's still true. I'm going to retweet that because I know it's true. And now we have to fight the fact that they're claiming X to be a free speech platform, and it isn't. We all know that DAI didn't do a thing wrong, right? That's why we've created the Freedom Zone. You can go to digperspectives.com and join the Freedom Zone for less than a cup of coffee a month. And we can all stay connected. You won't believe the conversations we're having in there. But I can tell you this, X is not a free speech platform. And I can tell you this, I believe they're using that branding to push because they know that they'll soon be bringing in the licensing and payments and everything else to go along with it. Now, here's a great picture right here. Look at this. Look at this. Ray Fuentes keeping some pretty damn good company right here. Brad Garlinghouse and Jack McDonald, shout out to them and their keynote speech that went on yesterday. We'll hopefully get more on that. But look at this. Bifrost Wallet. Now, I like Bifrost Wallet. I've been using that for quite some time now. Shout out to Bifrost Wallet. We now support the XRP Ledger DEX and NFT trading via dApps like XP Market, XRP Toolkit, and unhosted exchange by XRP Labs, all made possible by Towo Labs, addition to Wallet Connect and Connect Everything. How about that? I love seeing all of this come together. This is beautiful. Where did my heart go? See, that's another thing. I still see people that I follow, and then all of a sudden, I'm not following them anymore. What the hell's going on with that? Now, here we need your help with this. We need all of you, if you can help us here. Wall Street Bull says breaking, PetroChina pioneers in the digital realm by purchasing 1 million barrels of crude oil via the Chinese yuan, built on the XRP Ledger DLT on the Shanghai Petroleum and National Gas Exchange, marking a significant milestone in international trade with digital currency. Okay, well, listen. I know about the digital yuan being used to buy 1 million barrels of crude oil through the Shanghai Petroleum Natural Gas Exchange. I know about that. What I cannot find information on here is why I said, wait, what? Where? We like Wall Street Bulls, but in the particular article that I looked in, and I did look in it, it does not mention anything in the article about the XRP ledger. So I'm not saying that he's wrong. I'm just saying I can't find any information to verify that. So I'm asking for the community to collectively come together and see if we can all get something to verify or dismiss it for the moment, right? But, maybe somebody's got something. Just send it to me. DM me, tag me, whatever you can do. Be greatly appreciated. Then there's this. Now, how many times have we talked about the concern of USDTether and how it's always in the gun sights of some regulator or agency like Department of Justice? And here now, Senator Cynthia Loomis says when it comes to illicit finance, crypto is not the enemy. Bad actors are. I sent a letter asking the Department of Justice to finish its investigation, which means it's ongoing already, criminal charges and consider criminal charges against Binance and Tether after reports they are served as intermediaries for Hamas and engaged in illicit activities. Now, here's the problem with that. We already know that the articles that Elizabeth Warren used were not factual. And you know what? To cover up that basis, that fact, right? Here's what's interesting about this. They acknowledge that in this. So very quickly, we write to you in light of the shocking reports that unregulated centralized crypto asset intermediaries based outside of the United States have facilitated significant illicit finance activity over the last 2 years. Based on the alarming information and horrifying, unjustified attack on Israel, which it was, we urge you at the Department of Justice to reach a charging decision on Binance that reflects their level of culpability and expeditiously conclude your investigations into the ongoing illicit activities involving Tether. Crypto assets and distributed ledger have potential to drive responsible innovation in U.S. financial markets. Therefore, must be careful not to paint all crypto asset intermediaries as suspect when a small handful of bad actors use them for nefarious purposes. It says many crypto asset intermediaries seek to comply with the U.S. sanctions, money laundering laws, correctly viewing the regulations as necessary to unlock the promise of crypto assets distributed ledger technology. It says here on October 10th, it talks about the Wall Street report reported that Hamas, Palestine, Islamic Jihad, and Hezbollah has received funding through crypto assets since August 21. Though, listen to what they say. Those subsequent reports have highlighted that the level of funding reported in the article is likely not accurate. However, we believe it nonetheless imperative that the Department of Justice hold bad actors accountable if they are shown to facilitate illicit activity. So we know that that article wasn't accurate, but we're going to write this letter to you as if it was, right? Look, Senator Loomis knows something else, and you have to wonder here. The letter goes on and on and on. Talks about, Binance. It talks about Tether, right? And just basically saying here, Tether, a payment stablecoin issuer based in the British Virgin Islands and Hong Kong, is also a significant concern, right? Talks about accounts frozen from, the recent conflict in Israel and also in Ukraine. It is well known that Tether is knowingly facilitating violations of applicable sanctions laws and the Bank Secrecy Act by failing to conduct adequate customer due diligence and screening despite being aware that its product is used to facilitate terrorism and other illicit activities. Tether has been previously fined by the Commodities Futures Trade Commission for false statements relating to the composition of its reserves. And this has always been the question about the reserves for me, right? So, look, again, and this is bipartisan support here that you're seeing, right? So French Hill from the House, and then you see Senator Cynthia Loomis. Now, again, we gotta watch this. That I say USD Tether and Binance targeted. Will this grow into a rug pull? That's the question. Will this grow into a rug pull for crypto? Don't forget that the Black Rocks of the world have come to Crypto Town. You better prepare for change. If there's one thing you could take away from this letter, it is that the Senator Cynthia Loomis understands quite clearly that USD Tether has been operating out of the bounds of regulation and laws from day one. And it is not lost on them, her, or the Department of Justice, right? And if we're going to have a market that the sun comes out tomorrow, The crypto winter just went away, right? If we're going to have that in a beautiful spring, let me tell you something. you better know something's going to have to straighten up with Tether, right? They're either going to have to straighten up and fly right and do it the way everybody else does, or it's going to go away. Don't believe that. It's still true. And this is, too, according to John Deaton here, shout out to John Deaton, a settlement in the Ripple lawsuit will be determined by the outcome of Coinbase's motion to dismiss the charges filed by the SEC. This is pretty powerful stuff right here. He said right here, as I said on Crypto Law yesterday with attorney Jeremy Hogan and his wife, he said, I don't believe there's been a single serious discussion regarding settlement between Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, Chris Larson, and the SEC. The SEC is still pissed and embarrassed and wants $770 million worth of flesh. However, what people need to understand is that the penalty phase is like a second case requiring more depositions and interrogatories, requests for production of documents, emails, bank statements, contracts, ODL transactions. Ripple wants to drastically reduce the $770 million by trying to exclude ODL transactions, reduce salaries, expenses, costs, etc. The SEC sought $23 million from Library. It took 8 months of additional litigation before the judge ultimately issued a fine of $130,000. He said Jeremy Kauffman was deposed again, for example. Multiple briefs were filed. John Deaton says, I don't expect the final judgment issued by Judge Torres until late summer at the earliest. It literally could take a full year before an appeal is filed in this case, period. How about that? And then he says, if Coinbase wins their motion to dismiss, then I believe the SEC will be forced to pivot its anti-crypto agenda and then work out a possible settlement with Ripple. If Coinbase loses the motion to dismiss, I predict no settlement. So January 17, 2024 is the oral argument in the Coinbase motion. And that means a ruling would likely be expected between 60 and 120 days later. So that would put us around March to May or June timeframe after that January 17th oral argument. So until then, I think Ripple will spend tens of millions of dollars in legal fees fighting to greatly reduce the $770 million that has been cited in the decision so far. So that's where we are on this day, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's take a look at this, because I tell you, a lot of these technical analysts are pointing towards some real positive stuff here. Eggrag Crypto being one of them. Says, XRP monthly candle pattern. Behold, XRP graces us with a monthly candle formation that's simply breathtaking and undeniably bullish. 4 more days for the monthly candle close. Witness the mesmerizing beauty and share your thoughts and comments away here. Stay steady, stay strong. You can see we are in the bullish zone that labeled here, right? And if we close 4 days staying in that bullish zone, he's saying that is positive signs for us all the way around. No doubt about it. Look, we're going to keep an eye on it. We can't help but keep an eye on it. But until you do, make sure you go here. It's digperspectives.com. No spaces. digperspectives.com. And click the Freedom Zone. You could even join the DPMG, but at least click the Freedom Zone and join us in there. Because today we are going to talk about Big Brother is watching you. It's the Orwellian world, the dystopian world we're moving into, and I'm going to show you factual evidence of it happening. You're going to see it in here, and you're going to get that and so much more. And remember, all my daily videos are posted in there as well with 0 Google ads. And I can't wait to see your comments with no scammers, no bots. It's very clean in there. And I will be highlighting some of the best comments that we find in there too. So make sure you take a chance of that. I would love to highlight and showcase you as well. So I appreciate each and every one of you. And I'll catch all of you on the next one.